Hi everyone, welcome to HaulerTime. My name is Amy and I am reviewing a box of goodies from Universal Yums, which I like to call the Yum Yum box. Maybe they do too. I don't know. But anyway, stay tuned. Alright, so we're in our marathon filming day again. Maybe every week we'll just have a marathon filming day. So I'm, as you can see, still look the same, still have my awesome hair. You got to check out the video for this awesome stuff. And yeah, so I in this video am reviewing, well, not reviewing, well, sort of reviewing. I mean, I paid my own money for this box. My family loves this box, and there are a lot of snack food subscription boxes out there that you see other people do. My family likes this one, and it's got a really good mix of sweet and savory snacks from different places around the world. I've got my passport, so we'll see where we're going tonight. And there are different subscription levels that they have, but they don't know I exist. I'm just on here because we really like this box and I want to share it with you guys. So that being said, I guess we'll get started. I have no idea what country we've got this month. It's a different country every month, hence the passport. So far we've gone to the Czech Republic and to Germany and to Scandinavia, and we did one that was around the world. Was that Christmas? That was Christmas, was around the world. So let's see where we go now. But so I've done this is, I guess, my 5th episode of this particular box, but my family has done this box for quite a while. And you know, there have been points in time where we had to cancel the subscription because things were going on, and you know, I know not everybody can afford to do subscription boxes. And I don't even remember how much this one costs, although I will have that listed below. But like I said, they've got 3 different subscription plans, kind of like a small, medium, and large, and we do the medium one. We have done the large one before, and the large one's cool because you get a beverage from the country in that one. And then just, I'm trying to think if you get more like additional quantities of snacks, or if you just get more of the snacks that they give you. And I think there's, why would you subscribe to it if they didn't give you more variety? So I think there's more variety, but we ended up settling on this middle level one because sometimes the beverages that they include are soda, and there's only 2 of us in the family that still drink soda, so we weren't getting the full value. But what my family likes to do is, now granted, I will have tested all of these for you guys, but after I do this, we will go through and try everything as a family, and we vote on it and whatnot, because there's a booklet I'm going to show you in here where you can kind of keep track. And so some things are weird, some things are fantastic, some things are gross. I've had some, well, they're not gross, I just don't like them. Like one thing had like caraway pretzels, and I hate caraway seeds. Or was it caraway seeds? I think it was caraway seeds. But anyway, I will try everything and you will know if I like it or if I don't. And I try to rate everything between 1 being terrible and 5 being awesome. And then at the end, if I remember, I'll try to tell you what my favorite thing in the whole box was. But, oh, we're going to France. So that should be good, right? Although I've got to say, of all the times that we've done this, the ones in kind of like the general area where Thailand is, like India, and I'm not going to embarrass myself and try to think of other places. They're in that area. But those have really good snacks. Now, these other countries do, but like Germany, we were kind of disappointed with Germany, and we thought we would love that one. But anyway, but like the Czech Republic, I think, has been our favorite so far. But this time we will see France. So you get a card that tells you all about France. And then it's on the back of here where you can rate all of your stuff. And they, you know, if there's certain things in here you like, they give you some ideas of comparable things that they might have in their store, because you can order these things by themselves too, I believe. And yeah, so usually after we go through and rate everything, that kind of tells us which one was the best and the worst and the weirdest. We'll talk about which one was the weirdest. Like one time we had turkey flavored cotton candy. That one was weird. That's the one we always come back to as being the weirdest. Then you also get a book, and I will be reading from the book to talk about all the products in this box. And then you also get stickers. So I need to fill out my passport with my stamp, right? Now, when I had an active passport, I went to a few countries outside of the country. Well, you know what I mean. But they were on cruises, so I didn't get any stamps in my passport. It was pretty sad. So anyway, so I've added my stamp, and there's also spots to put your favorites and stuff in here, but we don't fill that part out. So now I'll get my flag. And my flag, and then on the back you get the flowers, which I don't know what kind of flower that is, but the idea is you're making a kind of like a garden on the back. And then once you fill this whole book out, I think you can send it in to them for something. I don't know, it's probably $5 off of a box or something. But I don't know, I don't think I want to send this in. So, I don't know. But anyway, fill out your passport. And then we're just going to get started. So, they have more information in the book about France. There's always a trivia section. We don't ever do that, but... And then it's got product descriptions. So, first is going to be pure butter. It's no good if I can't talk. Pure butter sables. The butter biscuits that have made the French swoon since 1888. And it's got a really cool kind of box, so I'm probably going to have to save that. Freeze. Before you try this famous French shortbread, you should know the main ingredient is sand. What? We know. Let us explain. Sables are centuries-old cookies made by rubbing cold butter into flour and sugar to form tiny particles of dough. Given the dough's striking resemblance to sand, these golden breadcrumbs came known as sable, the French word for sand. So yes, these delectable cookies are made with sand, but not the beaches of the French Riviera. The very buttery and very edible kind. Now, if you're wondering if it's time to try them for yourself, our answer is yes. Well, okay. So, got a box. 1888, that's cool. So it's a cute little box, kind of like a Animal Crackers or Cracker Jacks kind of size. Now I have to do this in a way that leaves, okay, so there's 6 cookies in here. There's 6 people in my family, so I'm just going to eat half of one of mine. But yeah, and we just, I don't know, it's great fun trying these. So they've got 1888 pressed into that. See how messy I can be. It broke in half pretty easily. Well, not half, but you know. Okay. They're coated a little bit on here. They definitely taste like the butter cookies that we would get in the States, but they're milder. So they're sweet, but very delicate. Kind of the taste of pound cake, right? Pound cake tastes like butter. There's not really a saltiness to it. I mean, some butter cookies have a little bit of salt to kind of enhance the flavor. This does not have that. The texture it's a nice texture. It doesn't just crumble apart when you start chewing it. And it's, I don't know, maybe because of this little coating on it, it holds it together a little bit better. But it's a really good, this would be really good with tea. So I like this. But it's not like wow kind of thing, right? But I do like a good shortbread cookie, which is really kind of what we're dealing with here. So it's nothing, I feel like it's nothing like I've tasted this before, right? This is not unique. So I'm gonna say this gets a 3. But it's a decent amount, right, in a box. And the booklet gives you the nutritional information for each of these products in case you have any kind of allergies. And I don't know if you can specify allergies when you sign up for this box or not. We don't have any allergies, so I don't ever have to worry about that. All right. Next, we have goat cheese and espelette chili. I don't know how to say that right. Potato chips. Cheesy chips with a hint of heat. Would you believe us if we said these chips double as Christmas decorations? Long before the poinsettia became synonymous with holiday spirit, French homes would be decorated with bright green, red, and yellow peppers. Well, that's interesting. While the edible decorations went out of style in the 1900s, folks in France's Basque region still go out of their way to celebrate the espelette pepper by way of food festivals and, yes, decorations. But let's not forget our favorite way to celebrate this super smoky pepper in this delightfully savory potato chip. All right. So a normal size chip bag for what we're used to in the States. Oh, I can already smell the cheese. It smells kind of like a toasted cheese. All right, so like here, you're getting a lot of air so that they don't break up. And they look like they are a ripple chip. So you got your chili seasoning on there. So I don't know, goat cheese, it's a pretty mild flavor, right? So is that to help temper the smoky peppers? So first off, I get a tartness from the cheese. I'm not getting you get some pepper, but it's not overpowering. Like I was kind of afraid it would, anything with peppers, I'm always afraid is going to be too spicy, but it's really not. Smoky is a good word for it, as opposed to spicy. It's a very good quality chip. It's substantial. I mean, it's not overly thick, but it's not crumbly or thin, or it's a good amount. Has good crunch. So yeah, I would eat a whole bag of those. It says that they use real French potatoes, sunflower oil, natural flavor, no preservatives, and no added MSG. So that is a good, I like that. So I'm going to give this, I'm going to give it a 4 right now because it is really good. Okay. Strawberry chews. Love strawberries? You have France to thank. French royals were the first to farm the fruit back in the 14th century, with King Charles V boasting 1,200 strawberry plants in his garden. Then sorry, I think a little piece of chip kind of went down the wrong way. Okay, now that I'm all, oh, this is so sad. No, I'm all teary-eyed. Can I even read? Okay. Then in the late 18th century, it was also France that crossbred the two New World strains, the Virginia strawberry and the Chilean white strawberry, to create the modern strawberry the whole world knows and loves today. But don't say merci just yet. We've got one more French strawberry innovation to be thankful for. This Yum. This sweet, chewy, and positively delightful strawberry is truly the pinnacle of progress. Now, I will say that Universal Yums almost always has a gummy of some sort in their, that's not the right thing, in their box. And they have a good variety of things. Like, it's not just a bunch of chips or a bunch of cookies. It's a good variety. There's candy, there's cookies and chips, but there's all kinds of variations. So we've got strawberry chewy candy bonbons. Yeah, I still got chip in my throat. All right, these are coated with probably powdered sugar. Okay, a little bit too hard to just chew into. I was going to try to show you what the inside looked like, but it's a gummy, I guess. Okay. It's harder than I was expecting, but it is chewy, but it's harder. Not getting, okay, maybe a little bit of strawberry there. I'm definitely getting the sugar from the coating. Okay, this is driving me nuts, the sound of this, so I'm going to pause while I finish chewing this. Okay, I'm almost done. It takes a long time to chew one of these, but this, how do I describe this? It tastes like an authentic strawberry. It does not taste like strawberry flavoring to the point where it almost feels like I'm eating, you know how it's got a leaf on top or whatever? It almost feels like I'm getting a little smidge of that too. That's how earthy is probably not the right word, because earthy you kind of think of dirt. But yeah, it's got a very authentic strawberry flavor. So it's not punch you out strawberry. And it's not, I mean, it creates a little bit of juice in your mouth while you're eating it, so it's maybe a little bit got some of the juiciness of a strawberry, but yeah, it's, I don't know how else to describe it except to say it feels like you're eating a strawberry, leaf and all. Is that a good thing? I mean, I think that's better than the artificial strawberry flavor that people just add to stuff. And I like matcha, so I'm not leaf adverse. Or I like spinach and stuff. So yeah, I think that's good. Is it better than the chips? No, so I'm going to give it a 3. All right. Next we have raspberry roll cake. Cake roll with raspberry filling. Stop. Before you bite into this cake, smell it. Just like juicy raspberries, right? While you might consider anything resembling cake firmly in the dessert category, this particular confection is a little bit different once you get to France. Fluffy raspberry roll cake like this is typically eaten not as a dessert, but for breakfast. And to that we say stop and think about saving this cake for tomorrow morning instead. Oh, well, that's not happening. All right. Oh, this is tiny, so I'm going to have to take a tiny bite. Usually there's plenty to go around for the 6 of us, but on occasion we'll get something that we really do have to cut with a knife so that there's kind of equal shares. So at first glance, okay, now I don't think raspberry when I smell that. At first glance it kind of looks like a fig Newton. I mean, a little bit different than a fig Newton, but I feel like I smell the dough more than the raspberry. Okay, well, I'm just going to break off a piece. So it's not overloaded with raspberry filling. It's very soft. Okay. So this is good, but well, the raspberry flavor comes on more as you're finishing it than it does at the beginning. But it's kind of like a raspberry preserve in the cake roll, which I guess that makes sense. But once again, it feels like the seeds have been ground up with the raspberry. So you're getting a very probably natural kind of flavor for the raspberry. Again, it's not got an artificial flavor at all. So, but it's subtle. It's very subtle. And maybe that's where I'm thinking that the seeds are kind of part of the flavor because it's kind of tampered it down a little bit. But the cake is very nice and spongy, and I'm gonna have to put this in a plastic bag kind of thing in order to keep it fresh for when the family does it. But it's definitely a better quality sponge than we would get here, like on a Swiss roll kind of pastry treat. So it's good. It's not better than the chips to me though, so I'm gonna also give this one a 3. All right, next, chocolate chip cookie truffles. Decadent dark chocolate with cookie pieces. When Marie Antoinette married Louis XVI in 1770, she moved her entire life from Vienna to the Palace of Versailles, including her personal chocolate maker, who was given the new title Chocolate Maker to the Queen. Knowing this, it might not be surprising that Marie was famous for having sweets first thing in the morning, with breakfast featuring cups of rich hot chocolate. Oh, now I would love to have, what do they call it, drinking chocolate? That's probably different than hot chocolate, but I want to try some drinking chocolate, like from the movie Chocolat. Anyway, so she would have this first thing in the morning with cups of rich hot chocolate and tons of cookies. We're not saying you should eat these melt-in-your-mouth truffles for breakfast, but we're also not saying that. All right, well, I hope there's, okay, well, there's not a whole, did we have these in the Around the World one? Now I'm kind of curious. I feel like I've seen this before, and we haven't been to France before, so how many are there? Okay, there's 6, so I'm gonna have to eat half of one. So it's definitely coated in that, yeah, this seems really familiar. So it's coated in that cocoa, so it's gonna be bitter, which is good when you have something really sweet underneath it. And I'm gonna have chocolate all over my teeth after this. So it's, well, bitter from the cocoa on the outside, but it's not as bitter as it could be. And it's just melting in my mouth, but it does have the kind of the harder cookie pieces in here. But the chocolate itself has an awesome flavor. It's creamy, so if you like that contrast of textures, you'd probably love this, because the chocolate just melts away from the cookie. That's excellent. This beats the chips. So this gets a 5. But yeah, that's really good. I like the cocoa on the outside. I know a lot of people don't like that on bonbons, but I like that because it kind of makes the inside sweeter, but not in a sticky sweet kind of way. So yeah, I really like that. And the cookie part in here, the cookie pieces, it's like tiny little Kix cereal kind of pieces. It's not like a Rice Krispie, but it's more like a, well, Kix cereal is the only thing I can think of at the moment, but it's like that, only just tiny. Those of you that don't live in the States may have no idea what Kix cereal is. All right, next, Fleur de Sel caramels. Okay, but now I've got the cookie in my throat. Hold on. Okay. Fleur de Sel caramels. France's famous fleur de sel meets buttery sweetness. Salted caramel is so popular you might think it's been around forever. But in reality, humans figured out space travel before they figured out this now iconic flavor. It was only in 1977 that confectioner Henry LaRue debuted the first salted caramel, made with Brittany's famous sea salted butter. By 1980, it was voted the country's best candy, and by 2008, it has gone global, with Haagen-Dazs and Starbucks debuting salted caramel products. With this yum, you'll understand why this French flavor has stuck around, quite literally. Okay, so this one's going to be, sometimes they give you a little bag of treats that have like the smaller kind of candies in them. Well, not sometimes, there's always a bag like this in here. And once again, a lot of times in these you only get maybe 3, at least in the level subscription box that we get, so then we end up having to cut each of these like in half. Okay, so it looks like this, your typical caramel. How many of these are there? Okay, they gave us 4, so I can eat a whole one. Although I probably won't because I'll have to pause again. Am I paused? Okay, good. I remembered to unpause after last time. And hopefully I don't have food in my teeth. All right, so nothing to say appearance-wise. It looks like your typical caramel. I chewed it up a little bit. Now I'm trying to taste it, and this is really, really good. I can't open my mouth very well, and it's not because it's hard, but you know how caramel is. So if you have dental work, be careful. Okay, I'm going to pause so I can get through the awful sound part of eating this, so hold on. Okay, so it's a very good texture. Sometimes you get caramel and it's kind of gritty, and sometimes you get caramels that are hard that you have to soften up while you chew. This is a good balance in the mixture between those. Flavor wise, it's definitely salted caramel. You get the saltiness, but it's not overpowering. And okay, I don't know, so my mom used to make caramels, but I didn't really watch her make caramels. But I know you'd put what, sugar and butter in a pan and kind of cook it up. I don't know, I'm sure there's more to it. I don't know, do you add milk? But this tastes like a brown butter, and maybe you're thinking, well, duh, you have to brown, I mean, for as long as you cook it, it would naturally brown. But I'm saying that because it's a richer, buttery taste. It's not just like the pound cake or the butter sponge cake. This has a deeper, and sometimes the salt brings out that depth, right? So it's a very, very good caramel. Now, what I say next may turn some of you off, but you know how you can make banoffee pie? If you're a Love Actually fan, there's banoffee pie when Keira Knightley brings that over to Andrew Lincoln's character. And you make it with sweetened condensed milk. I think you cook that in the can and then you get this caramel that way. It's kind of like that. It's just this really rich, deep flavor. So it's really, really good. Now, is it as good to me as the truffles? No. But it's better than the chips, so I'm going to give it a 4.5. All right, next is popcorn truffles. Ooh, I hope that they mean mushroom truffles. Decadent chocolate decadent French chocolate with bits of toasty popcorn. According to legend, this yum came about by accident in 1920s Paris. Confectioner Auguste Escoffier was making a pastry cream when he accidentally poured hot cream into the wrong bowl, a bowl filled with chocolate. Rather than bidding the melty chocolate adieu, he experimented. He rolled the paste or ganache into balls and coated them in cocoa powder. The result, a luxurious chocolate ball that looks a whole lot like France's mushroom truffles, hence the name. Oh, bummer. I was really hoping there'd be some mushroom flavor in there too. We can't think of a more decadent accident. All right. Where are they? Oh, this was in the bag too. All right, so they gave us 4 of these, so I can probably eat a whole one. All right, so this looks very similar to that other truffle, the cookie one that we had. Tastes very similar to it here too. Again, you've got that cocoa exterior. You come into a smooth chocolate. Is this made by the same people? Because it feels like it is. Truffles & Co. They're both Truffles & Co. That explains it. But this one has a salty element because of the popcorn. And again, you've got your juxtaposition of crunchy and soft and melty. But this one is better than the other one, the cookie one, to me. Because of that, you can taste that it's popcorn. It's not just crunch. You can tell it's popcorn. So you're getting that corn flavor. But it is crunchier, and it's got that salt element. And I feel like the salt element really enhances everything else. You can't see the popcorn, at least in the part I did, but it's definitely there. And I happily eat the other half of that. Okay, Truffles & Co. I'm gonna now be going out to look on Amazon to see if you can buy, well, you can buy this stuff from YUMYUM, but I'm curious if Truffles & Co. sells any of their stuff on Amazon. That is so good. Maybe I don't want to check that out because I would eat that. That would be a problem for me. It is so good. All right. Next, this next one I'm probably going to have to, it's a hard candy, so I'm probably going to have to suck on it for a little bit and then stop, and I did restart. Okay, suck on it a little bit and then stop and spit it out because I don't want to sit here and crunch on hard candy. But, so the next thing is sour cherry hard candies. Taste the Soleil Cherry Festival. Our next stop is on the southern edge of France to a town called Ceret. Now, I apologize. This is C-E-R-E-T. So I'm saying Ceret. You may not have heard of it before, but any French person will tell you that the best cherries come from here. Germany would probably disagree with their Black Forest cherries, right? We learned that on a previous episode. And I do have a playlist of just these, I think. If I don't, I'll make one. But, because everybody wants to watch me eat, right? Okay. Squirrel, right? Squirrel went by. All right, so in fact, the fruit is so prized there in Surrey that every year since 1932, the first crate is sent directly to the President of France. Intrigued? Then you'll also want to get there in time for the annual Cherry Festival, where locals eat cherry-themed foods, play traditional bandas music, and hold the ever-popular cherry pit spitting competition. You can get in on the fun yourself with these sour cherry candies. But be warned, before you get to the sweet center, you'll need to go through some seriously sour sugar crystals. Oh, great. Am I going to be able to... I'm probably going to have to do this offline. How long is it going to take me to get to that? So anyway, here they are. And I don't mind sour that turns into sweet, but sometimes it's like too sour. These scissors, like when I'm cutting, because they're tapered, it's kind of weird with my glasses. All right. Wish me luck. Okay. This may be the most sour thing I've ever tasted. I can hardly even talk. Okay, I said I would stop and pause and get through this, but okay, now I'm going to. There's no redeeming value in this sour part. If you really like sour, you will love this, but hang on. Okay. I survived that part. I don't think I've ever tasted anything as sour as that was. It takes a long time to get all of that coating off till you get to the smooth. Like everything's running now. But here's the unfortunate part. When you get to the sweet part, it's kind of medicinal. This is not a... I would not be advertising this as a reason to go to this particular part of France. I don't know if... I don't think that the sourness is ruining the taste of it, but it's... Sorry, I know that's gotta be annoying. I don't know, it's a little bit less medicinal now, so maybe it's kind of that in-between layer, but it's still not... I don't know. This one, unlike the other fruit things we've had in this box, this one feels more artificial. It's not as bad as a cough drop, but I don't know. I would not buy these. This gets a 1 from me. And I'm going to stop so I can take this out so that we can finish the rest of it. Although I have no idea what I'm going to put it on. Is there a wrapper? gonna do? I don't know. I'll think of something. Hang on. Okay, yeah, that one was disappointing. So that was definitely not, I did not like that. All right, next, 47% dark chocolate with sea salt. Smooth cocoa flecked with French fleur de sel. Okay, so we're getting a lot of the salt. Flowers on V-Day, overrated, but fleur de sel, swoon. Fleur de sel is the so-called caviar of sea salts, formed when seawater evaporates and leaves behind delicate salt flowers. Hence fleur, flower, de sel of salt. That's my 4 years of French kicking in there. All right. Trained workers called paludiers use special wooden rakes called lucifleurs. Okay, I can't do it all. To collect them, since even the most productive salt marshes only produce 2 pounds per day. The process is slow and expensive, but worth it, since mineral-rich fleur de sel is longer lasting and saltier than ordinary salts. When blended with decadent chocolate, it makes for a chocolate experience unlike any other, as you're about to find out. Best flowers ever. All right, well, I guess it makes sense we're getting a lot of chocolate in France. You kind of think of that whole region, France and Belgium, as being your chocolate gurus. Oh, this is a pretty big bar. So that's nice. I can have like a full square or whatever. Oh, those are big squares. Well, I wasn't thinking that. Now all this needs is caramel on the inside. All right. It's pretty. Will this beat the popcorn truffles? Okay, you can definitely taste the fleur de sel, which is a very nice addition to this dark chocolate. And it's nice that it's only 47% dark chocolate. I mean, okay, well, now the salt is really kicking in. I like all kinds of I like milk chocolate too, but I like all kinds of dark chocolate, even 75 and 90% dark chocolate. So this obviously is sweeter than that. The salt is really good. Almost like there's granules of salt, kind of adding a little crunch to that. So it melts nice, but it does not melt as nice as the truffles. And the salt does overpower the chocolate a little bit, but it's a nice rich chocolate. So it's really kind of like a, well, no, that's not true. I was going to say like a sea salt caramel chocolate square, like you get, what is that company? Ghirardelli squares, just without the caramel part. So that is really good, but it is not as good as the popcorn truffles. So I will give it a 4 while I sit and eat one more piece. Okay, I think we have one thing left. That is really good. And it's the kind, I don't know if you're like me, but dark chocolate doesn't make me want to just keep eating and eating and eating it like milk chocolate does. So that would make a really good like snack to have at work, where you just break off a square and you eat a square when you're getting really frustrated or whatever at work or wherever. But yeah, that's good. Okay, so last but not least, well, hopefully not least, I don't think anything can be worse than those cherry things. Garlic aioli potato chips. Garlic lovers plus this yum equals the perfect relationship. If it's a special occasion in Provence, you'll surely smell one thing: garlic. Lots and lots of garlic. That's because everyone will be eating aioli, the local garlic and oil dip. It's ordinarily reserved for Fridays, when it's served with boiled veggies like green beans, carrots, and potatoes. When Ash Wednesday comes around, aioli is served with poached cod. And on Christmas Eve, it's snails. Ew. I forgot. And on Christmas Eve, it's snails that typically get dipping. Escargot. Have you guys had escargot? I've had escargot because when I was in French class in high school, we went to an authentic French restaurant. And I also went to maybe the same French restaurant for one of my proms. And it was probably the one that I went to with my French class where we got escargot. And I did try one, which I'm kind of surprised I tried one. But it tasted like mushrooms, right? And I love mushrooms. Now, if you don't like the texture, that's usually what it is, I think, with people, is texture. And the fact that it's a snail. I mean, that's kind of gross, right? But it's a delicacy. How did that become a delicacy? You ever wonder that, the things that are delicacies around the world, like crickets. How is that a delicacy? Like, I can go in the summer and grab a bunch of crickets, but I don't consider that a delicacy. Maybe I just don't know how to cook them. Anyway, so this is your invitation to Provence's pungent tradition. These ridged potato chips, which taste just like the real thing, but with no dipping required. Yes, you will get garlic breath, and yes, it will be worth it. All right, now this is the same brand as the other chips we had, which we really liked. So that should work well with this. And I do really like garlic. Oh yeah, you can smell the garlic immediately when opening it. And once again, look just like the other ones. Like you don't know what a chip looks like. I don't know, do you guys like these videos? I try to pretend like I'm on the Food Network and when I'm describing these things. I don't know how they do this, but this tasted like I just bit into a fresh garlic clove. That's how fresh tasting this is. And you know how raw garlic is so strong? I mean, these are literally strong. The aioli part, I can picture this being one of those garlic heads that has a little green sprout coming out of it. So I'm gonna say this, and you can disagree with me, but I feel like, I mean, there's good chips in the States, don't get me wrong. there's good chips in the States, but I don't feel like we have stuff like this. I don't feel like we have things that taste so authentically like their flavor. And maybe that's because in the States we use so many artificial flavorings to achieve that. But this, it literally tastes like a garlic chip. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It is so authentic. And you can kind of get the oil, like it's a garlic oil, hence the aioli part. But it's amazing when you chew on that how much it tastes like garlic. And that may turn some of you off, but if you love garlic, you would love these. So that is really good. This company is, this Brett's company, I'm gonna kind of have to go see if I can find these somewhere too, that maybe has bigger bags or something. But yeah, this was fantastic too. So it's not better than the truffle, but I still will give it a 4. Hang on, I need to take a drink without losing my cherry thing here. Things get caught in my throat very easily. But yeah, so this box overall I think was an excellent box. They definitely excel in their chocolatier work. Chocolatier work? Chocolatiers would be a person, right? Well, chocolate confectionery making, I don't know. Their chocolatiers are very good. Let's say it that way. And their chips are really good. I mean, everything was good, but yeah, I wouldn't have, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't have thought of France for chips, but those were both really good, and the way they were able to get such authentic flavors out of that. So yeah, so this box I think was great, and really the only dud was that sour cherry. I literally have never tasted anything that sour before. So yeah, I don't recommend that, but yeah, so overall good feeling with France. And then they always give you a recipe, and this time it goes with their chocolate bonbon theme. And you only need for this recipe 2/3 cups of heavy cream, 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate, and a 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then cocoa powder for rolling. So wow, that should be kind of easy to make. And then just some more stuff in the book. 400 years of French fashion, crossword puzzle, and then all your nutrition facts. So yeah, well, so anyway, if you are interested in trying this out for you, this would make a great gift if you have a kid in college, you know, send a care package. They and their friends would love something like this. And it comes so nicely packaged. It's, I mean, like perfect for that. It would also be great if you're single and you like to just snack on unique things. This would last you quite a while, maybe. Not if it was me. If I was single and I was getting it, it would probably be gone in 2 days. Let's be real. But if you have a family, it's also great to sit and try everything out together, because I kid you not, my kids love it. Especially, they would have, I'm gonna have to eat one of those sour cherry things with them too. Ugh. But yeah, so that was my haul for this one. So we're right at an hour, so we'll cut it off here. Thank you for watching. If you like the content that I provide, please click that subscribe button ring the bell so you know whenever I put out new content. Please be sure to pick a thumb, you know, a like or a dislike for this so that YouTube knows that you're a real person. And if you think you're subscribed, make sure, because some people have been falling off. There's something weird going on there, so check that out. But otherwise, also I'm linking all these videos. I have a link, I'll link to that, and I think I probably have like a refer a friend code or something that I'll put in there. But I will also link to my crafting channel so that you can check that out. And I've got, well, it's still Wednesday the 13th for me, but if you're watching this before St. Patrick's Day the 17th, I've got a video you should go watch where I've got some giveaways, so check all that out. But otherwise, wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day, and until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye. Why does it work sometimes and sometimes it doesn't?